Hello and welcome to the workshop. On today's episode, I'll be using ice and some UV resin, and I'm going to make myself a sculpture to turn on the lathe. Now, some of you guys might have seen on a previous episode where I filled a container with ice and poured UV resin over it and cured it in the sun. And it ended up making this really cool ant gallery style sculpture. Well, on that episode, we didn't do anything with it. We just kept our UV sculpture. But on this episode, I want to make another one, except this time I'm going to use two different colors of UV, and once it's cured, I'm going to turn it into a sphere. Now, I'm not too sure if that's going to work, but we're definitely going to give it a go. Now, to make my two colors, I've got two brand new packets of UV resin. Now, these ones are 30 mils each, which I think should be enough. And the two colors that I've chosen are a red and a blue. Now, I'm hoping that at some stage they kind of mix together and give me purple. So we're not going to know until it happens, but let's give it a go. One drop should be plenty, hopefully. So now that my colours are all mixed, I'm going to take my container and go fill it with ice. Okay, we've got the ice. Now we're going to have to act fast because we don't want this to melt. So it's just pretty much a case now of pouring our UV over the top. Then once it starts to dribble down, we're going to take this outside so it can cure in the sun. Almost feels like I was putting syrup on a snow cone. Now this one seems to be taking a bit longer to get down to the bottom than the last one. So I feel like I've actually got a bit of time here. Okay, I think that's about right. Let's go put it in the sun. So now that all my ice is melted, we can tip this water out and have a good look at our sculpture. Now hopefully this comes out nice and easy. Whoa, look at that. We did have a little bit stuck on the side, but that's alright. We've got some cool galleries in there. This one looks like a piece of coral as well. Looks like coral leaves, if that's such a thing. Alright, I'm going to go put this out in the sun for maybe another half hour just to get it nice and cured. Then I can pop it back into the container and mix up some epoxy. So now that it's had a stint in the sun, it feels a bit stiffer, so I can get it into my container and start mixing up my epoxy. Wow, this is going to look awesome. I think what I might do before I go put this in the pressure pot, I'm going to pop it into the vacuum chamber and I'll pull a vacuum and it'll just get rid of any trapped air that's in there. That way we get a nice clear casting. I'm glad I did put that in the vacuum chamber. There was quite a fair bit of trapped air in there. So now we're going to cure it under pressure and watch it on pot cam. Well, it's now the next day. Let's get the air out of this pot and see how it looks. Ooh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. Well, as you can see, we got a fracture inside of here. Now I'm a little surprised by that because fractures are normally caused by trapped air, and we did put this one inside the vacuum chamber, although maybe I did cut it a little short because I was scared the resin was going to flash cure on me because it was getting quite hot. But after looking at it, it kind of ties in with the theme I was going for because I really wanted like a nebula look, and I think it just adds to it. So the next thing I need to do is get it out of this container, get it onto a waste block, and then we can start turning it on the lathe. I better not push my luck. Now you guys know that I like to sand my spheres while they're still on the base. It just makes it a little easier. And then once I've sanded it, I'll be able to part it off and then clean up the bottom, so we'll still get our nice sphere. So the next thing I need to do is get it off this lathe, go put it on my sanding lathe and give it a sand. Okay, now that my sphere's all sanded, I can give it a polish. Well, now that I got my sphere all polished, it's time to take a look. But before we do, I wanted to let you guys know that it's now available in my Etsy store. So if you guys want to take a look, I'll leave a link in the description. Now let's check it out.